Hi everybody, I'm going to give you feedback on activity number 2, in which you are supposed to answer some questions on the essay by Malcolm Pitt and David Robinson titled Hints on Essay Writing. Both authors claim that a good essay should have variety, economy, and fluidity. By variety, they mean the essay should be varied in the length and structure of sentences, in the language used, and in ideas. So you should be bold enough to write imaginatively and figuratively, but at the same time you should be able to support whatever you say with evidence from the text. As regards economy, they mean that a good essay should avoid repetition and wordiness. Don't think that because you write a longer essay, it is a better essay. Don't use 2 words, 3 words when 1 word might do. So, this is what we mean by wordiness. In the third place, they mention fluidity, which has to do with the use of transition sentences between paragraphs and ideas. Make sure that you connect what you have said in the previous paragraphs with what you are going to say in the next paragraph. As regards the structure of the essay, they emphasize the fact that form and meaning are inseparable. All the comments and ideas must be interconnected. Form has to do with the way the language is used, and meaning has to do with the message it conveys. So whatever you choose to identify in terms of use of language, it should be closely related to the effect that is aimed at achieving. In the second place, you should arrange your comments and observations into coherent groups and then arrange these groups into a logical sequence. Make sure that when you work with the outline of your essay, you group the comments and observations under thematic units. For example, if you are supposed to discuss the tone and atmosphere of a poem, make sure you identified all those figures of speech that help you prove what type of tone the speaker of a poem adopts, and group them in one paragraph, and then probably in the second paragraph you can refer to those figures of speech that help set the atmosphere of the poem. The authors refer to the 3 T's, which are theme, tone, and texture. As we have said in a previous lesson, theme is not the same as subject matter. Theme is an abstract word, and it has to do with what the text is about. It can very often be expressed into 1 or 2 words, and different texts might share the same theme, and not necessarily the same subject matter. As regards the second T, tone, it has to do with the author's attitude towards the theme. The tone can be friendly, authoritative, melancholic, formal, deeply personal, etc. In the third place, they mention texture, and it has to do with the way language is used to achieve an effect. I will develop that a little later, better in another slide. What are the preliminary stages when writing an essay? Before attempting to write anything on paper, you should read the text completely, from beginning till the end, without making any notes. You have to know what the text is about in order to be able to analyze it critically. Then read the text again, but the second time pay attention to the language used. And the third time you should read the text, but this time you should annotate the text, because these annotations will help you later find the evidence to support your argument when you write the essay. You might think that this stage takes somewhat a lot of time, but don't worry. Devote as much time as it is necessary, because if you really have it clear in mind what the text is about and which are the figures of speech used, and you have identified them and organized them in groups, then you can work with the outline of the essay, and then you start writing the actual essay. Once you have in your mind clear what you want to aim at in the essay, it's much easier to pay attention to the way you express your ideas. So don't be afraid of spending too much time in these preliminary stages, because they will help you, or they will somehow pave the way to write a better essay. Finally, the question I assigned was, what is texture? And as I said before, is a way the author uses language to achieve an effect. For that, he might use a certain rhyme, rhythm, images, metaphors, alliteration, or any other figures of speech that you have studied. Well, I hope this helps you to write the essay this week.